This one will be a quick one, eh? This one will be a quick one. So let's talk about the world you are living in. Okay? Let's see the world you are living in, because there's a big difference between the world, how you see it, aka what you call Earth, and that's the right, and what you call no music. Sorry about that. I was listening to loud music in the morning, that's why. So let's talk about the practice. Let's talk about how you are creating your reality and the world around you. You see, the algorithm studies you. Those people who watched what we call, I think it's a documentary on Netflix. It's called Social Experiment or Social Dilemma. One of those names. It has to do with the bad social. Either it's Social Dilemma or Social... I know most of you watching, you already know about what I'm talking about. So, we have what we call the Earth, Tiamat, Gaia, whatever you want to call this planet or this star that you are living in. So whichever name you want to give it, Tiamat, Gaia, Earth, Mother Nature. That's the existence of the water cycle that you are on. So this planet, this, whatever you want to call it, whatever this water cycle star, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Now, we also have what you call the world view, aka how the world view. Now, the world is made up of the people, places, and things, or the situations and the circumstances that give you what you call the 5 pillars. So these will be entertainment, business, music, religion, and politics, the things that run you, aka under the people who run you, what you call systems or government or institutions or money or whatever that, those terms and conditions you agreed as spirits that you'll be following. Keyword, you agreed as spirits or as a soul, you wewe peke yako, you have agreed that you are going to live to the terms and conditions. So you have agreed to the terms and conditions of, you need a passport to travel. Terms and conditions of, you need to pay rent. You need to do what you call, give your time for what? Safety, stability, security, shelter, and the 5 S's, whatever you need to succeed in this world. Now, that is what we call the world. So when you're talking about a new world, I don't want to use the other word. There's always things can be done in an orderly way or in a disorderly way. So that's the world view. That's not your view. That's not this planet's Gaia, Tiamat, whatever you want to call this chakra view. Because when you wake up in the morning, the sun will always be out there. Okay? The moon, aka the reflection of the sun, you are going to see it wherever, depending on how we are rotating. The winds will always be blowing. The tides will always come and go. However, we have a world view. Now, the algorithm studies you. Before we had the phones, there are some people who have decided that they are going to run the world. There are spirits who, based on how old or how experienced, based on how many transformations they have been here, come and go, incarnate, reincarnate. So that builds an experience. There's new spirits being produced every day, just the same way you see new species of animals coming up, ants, oh, you have an undiscovered species and things like that. So that will always be, it's a cycle. Shout out to Richie Spice, the world is a cycle, or whatever he says. Now, based on that, when before now us and before our mothers, their grandfathers or our grandfathers, there are people who are also looking at them. Okay? The same way when you go to Masai Mara or whichever park, you will find there are some animals that prey on the weak ones. So you'll find the lions when they are doing all those documentaries, which is nothing but just content on a higher notch. So they go and they camp, they're waiting for the lions. They are just documentaries. They just have better toys. They just have more money. Because based on their experience on this world, they have accumulated those discovery channels, which is nothing but content creation on a higher notch based on the money, the better cameras, more money to hire for parks and pay for the fees, better cars, drones, people who can camp and just give you content. It's just content. Akina David Attenborough, it's just content. It doesn't mean that they are experts in anything. They are just creating content. They don't know shit. Everything they are giving you is out of observation, the way you can observe for yourself. You don't need David Attenborough to tell you how a lion feeds. You can go to Masai Mara for a week and observe how a lion... the lion, moving, blending well with the grass. Over the years, the lion has developed a camouflage. Evolution has... Shut the fuck up. It's common knowledge. We have camouflage. We can see a chameleon camouflaging itself. We can see insects camouflaging themselves. It's just content. Now, I'm not hating on the content. It's good content because some people will never even know. Some of you, the last time you were in the national park, when you were in primary school. Some of you have never even been to the lion park hapa. Nairobi National Park, hata hujai ingia na iko hapa. Umenunua Honda, umenunua sijui gari gani. Gari yako inajua Kiambu, but hapa hujai ingia. Because everything you consume, you are given on a phone. So, how do they create your world? In the beginning, I'm talking about the beginning of their Genesis. There's many Genesis. In the Bible, that is just a Genesis of that Adam and Eve spell, aka whoever wrote the Bible, okay? Whoever that mentality, because it's not God who wrote the Bible, and it was not men inspired by God. It was someone who sat down, they had their own mentality about a thought and a feeling, aka Adam and Eve, an idea, and they put it in their own mentality they created. So in the beginning, the world was whatever, it was just waters and everything. So that's their Genesis. There's many Genesis. There's the Kikuyu Genesis, Kikuyu and Mumbi. We have the Luya Genesis. We have the Maasai Genesis. All those are Genesis, aka all those are beginnings of people's interpretations on how they came into existence in their respective locations. Okay? Now, in that beginning was the word. So what is the word? So you know the word is masculine. You know the word is right brain. I mean left brain, because that would be logic, thinking. So you know the word is created by the vibe, or what you call the vibration. And what is the vibration? The vibration is an emotion. Okay? An emotional state of being. AKA, how you are feeling. A state of mind. Are you following? Now, what creates the emotion? The emotion is created by the space. Okay? The space of existence. The state of being. The state of a nation. Nasikia your president is addressing the state of the nation. So he's not addressing the state, because what is a state is just a location. He's addressing the state of the nation. How are the people vibrating? How are you feeling? Are you worried about your unga prices? Are you worried about, because they like keeping you in worry. Worry is a low vibration energy around the world. It's good for people to keep people in rulership, when they keep you worried about things, when they have your two nickel rubbing content creators going to take pictures at State House, like that's an achievement. So your influencers and the church and the government are in the same bed. They mock you. Okay? They are mocking you. Just because they are given 2 cents, ka envelope hapo unaenda State House unapigwa picha, so they mock you. So now, that state of being, or the space you are in, okay, there are spirits in that place. So for example, let's say you are sad or you are happy. What does that mean? That means you as a spirit, or you as a collective group of spirits, you are in a state of emotion where you are in fear or you are scared of the future na vitu kama hiyo. So what is that state of emotion? Hiyo ndio inaitangwa state of awareness. That is why I tell you, when you come to my life, you need a book, you need a pen so that you can follow. Okay? We are not from around here. Our minds don't just pick things from around here. So sometimes you need to write these things. So now, that is a state of awareness, aka that is what you are aware of. So when you open your phone, what are you aware of? You are aware of an accident on the bypass. You are aware of a house burning. You are aware of a police car crashing on Mombasa Road. You are aware of... So that state of awareness, okay, that is what now creates all your thoughts and feelings. So you are thinking, oh my God, things are so bad. You are thinking, oh my God, or you are feeling we are in such a bad state as a nation. I want to show you how you can change your mind, okay? And this is also how, when you change your mind, it changes the world you are in. You saw the example of people saying, oh my God, watu wanalipa dhao nane, wanaenda kutritiwa like shit. And you're like, hey, dhao nane ticket, nikaone maguka. That's not the point. The point is, there are people who are even willing to fork out more to pay for that event. So, what is the state of mind are they on? For someone to pay for that ticket, is their state of mind on a poverty mindset? Are they worried about unga going for 200? Huo ni mtu hata unga ukiuza so tano si lazima mutakula. Unga hata ikifika 300 ugali hamutaacha kukula. And you have to buy bad maize flour from the shops because you're not even growing your own maize. You are importing maize in a country that lies on the tropic of whatever equatorial country. The best soils and everything, you can't grow your own food, but you can grow coffee, you can grow tea, okay? You can grow the slave crop, but you can't feed your own people. Why? Because of the state of mind. So they make you have a state of mind that makes you think that the cash crop is worth more than what you can grow. So you are growing coffee, tea to export, and flowers with the best soils, but you can't grow food. You can't grow maize, which you need. Are you seeing this? So, now, this is going to be a short one. Understand the practice or the spell that is placed upon you. And today is a Wednesday, so it's a day for communication. I have like another 15 more minutes or 30 minutes before I go do something. Before I start my day's consultations na vitu kaa hizo. My day is packed. Ndio maana nimekuja a little bit earlier before coming at exactly 9 mid-heaven. So now, understand the practice. That the word is created by the vibe or the vibration. Okay? And the vibration of the vibes is your emotion. Unasikia mtu akiuza, I like your vibe. Meaning, you like the emotion. Meaning, you like whatever space they are in. So as a spirit, you like that emotional state that they are in. Or as a spirit, you like their state of awareness, what they are aware of. Or as a spirit, you like their thoughts and feelings. That's emotions. So, a lot of the traffic that you allow on your phone, for example, I don't watch the news for 7 years. I've never watched TV, but I can tell you exactly what is happening outside. The only time I've seen a TV is in the background. Naweza kuwa mahali, kukona background, nione TV, sijui some news, and the moment nasikia tu wanazima kitu, let's say in the club, unaona tu wamezima, watu waone news, I walk out. Nikienda mahali na mtu ameasha TV, na anaulizanga, can I switch off the TV? Even if I walk into an office, whichever office, and there's a TV just doing nonsense in the back, I usually, excuse me, can you switch off the TV, please? And I mean, no, the volume is down. I'm like, no. All those CNN bullshit, CG Rush, I don't want to be in that state of being. So and I want to stream. And they look at you like you are weird. You are not watching the news. Because that's how they get you. By putting you in an emotional state of being. Okay? So whatever you are aware of becomes your reality. So even when you are browsing, you go on Twitter or wherever, oh, bad, don't watch that accident. Immediately, say, I do not agree to those terms and conditions, and keep scrolling. And with time, your algorithm will learn the shit that you watch. For example, there's a guy who's preaching on some stupid street. Anamwagia watu maji, wanaeka mapesa hapo, wanamwagia. It must be one of those inflation high countries kwa sababu pesa inatupwa chini, manoti na dirty notes, shows you the state of awareness they are in. So for example, hiyo kitu every time on my feed inakuja, I'm like, so I went, I'm not following the guy, nashindwa, why is this thing showing on my feed? I cannot block him because I'm not following him, he's not following me, but it's on my feed. So this is something they push you. So you may realize there are some people who watch me and based what is called a recommendation. So it is being pushed out of recommendation. So now I'm looking at my content like, now, what kind of people who are watching my content who have this kind of narrative being pushed to them? And then I realized that there are a lot of people, Christianity practicing. I didn't say people in church. I say people who are practicing Christianity na vitu kaa hizo who are watching. So hao ndio wanafanya hiyo kitu ikue push to my algorithm. So now I have to find a way to block that thing because I don't see negative things. I know there's negative things outside there and I'm not ignorant. I'm not saying I'm living in denial. However, that is not my state of being. That is not my emotional state of being. That's not the thoughts and feelings I like spending time in. That is not what you can call the vibe. Okay, that's not my vibe. That's not my emotional state. That's not my world. You see? Because what you spend time in, that is why they say, whatever things you are spending time in, they make you. So that's not my state of being. I don't like spending time on those kind of things. So why did we hang or what happened? Can you still see me? Oh, it's in Uganda. Eric Ngoge says it's in Uganda. Eric Ngoge, kama wewe ndio unafollow mtu acha kumfollow. How do I get in touch with my intuition? Are we still live? Or I'm not live? I don't know. Maybe I'm out of data. Let me buy some more stupid data here. I've recharged. I'm recharging my data. But I'm not paying for data, yeah? I'm paying for the boosters, for the cabling, for the generators. I'm paying for the things that they have invested in to make me access the data. Data is free, okay? Data is free. You're not paying for data. You are paying to have that. You have entered the wrong pin. Well, at least they told me thank you. Wameniambia thank you. Yes, confirmed. I get it. Confirmed. So umechukua pesa yangu. You don't have to remind me. So this is how you know that as spirits or as humans, because we are humans, we fell. There's a pros and cons to everything. The advantages for having a mobile phone is that you are reachable, you can reach as many people and everything. And you have a phone book, you save people's number. The disadvantages is that now your brain becomes useless. So back in the days we used to memorize our father's number. Ulikuwa unaenda booth, unaweka coins kwa chief. Kwa chief tu ndio kulikuwa na ka phone booth, ka Safari, whatever telecom company it was. So ulikuwa unaenda, unaweka coins, unakata kata, unapiga. Kuna wengine walikuwa wanajua kuhack. Ati kingi unafinya star ta 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 ta. Ma coins zinaanguka zinatoka. Hello? Yes. Nipatie extension 3170 please. Unawekwa holding. Tururu. Ma coins zinaanguka kacha kacha kacha. Tururu. Tururu. Hello, yes, dad. Kohana ati amukari very fast ukaruta besa hari uru. It used to be very prestigious going to a phone booth back in the days. I'm thankful for my spirit that I've always been in those kind of spaces. Now, having a phone is a good thing. Hizo siku ulikuwa una memorize namba ya shosho yako ama whoever you are calling. Una memorize code, area code. Kama ni Nakuru iko na area code, kama ni Kisumu iko na area code. Una memorize number na kama kuna extension una memorize. We never used to save numbers anywhere kama kuandika. Nowadays now, unless the only number you can remember is your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your mother and your father, huwezi kuwa una remember more than 20 numbers. So though technology is a good thing, it's also showing you how you get programmed and the pros and cons on everything. And you need to have discernment as a spirit to know, okay, this is a good thing. However, when you are dealing with the subconscious now, understanding the subconscious, which is now the real world, you are looking at everything like, though this is a good thing, it also means I'm dumb. Because now you have an application, you don't want to know what this tree is or the application. Hii ni mti gani? Ebu nitoe, niko na Google Lens. Unapiga Google Lens. Inaitwa Africana Prukakakakaka. Naona, so you don't know, but you are in its own existence. And this is how even people now are willing to be plugged into the system. So you are willing to go into the virtual world, the metaverse, the world of whatever. So what are you going? You'll be going into their world view. So ukiingia kwa hiyo world view, huwezi kataa kitu venye inaitwa. Wewe hujui. Si wewe ni Google Scholar. Na vitu kaa hizo. How do you get out of a loop? That's a good question. So tuanzie hapa. What is a loop? So inakaa live in a crash because there's nothing on my screen. It's all blank, eh? There's no likes, nothing. So kama hakuna likes or if there's no interactions, let me just answer 2 questions and nikafanya kitu ingine. Najua no need of sitting here wasting time. We can be adding to other things. So how do you get out of a loop? You being stuck in a loop, I cannot stay here and like my own video. Unless I have to tap my own screen to keep it up. How do you get out of a loop? So what is a loop? A loop is every time you are stuck in a rotation. AKA, to be really honest, you can look at a loop like hell. Every time you are stuck in hell is every time you are stuck in the same kind of rotation whereby the bills are coming up and every time you are worried about your bills. Every time you are worried about, so you are stuck in a loop, you are stuck in a rotation, you are stuck in hell, you are stuck in something. Hell is nothing more but something that keeps repeating itself over and over. You are getting the same experience, you are getting the same emotional damage or emotional feeling out of that. Okay, so to get out of a loop, you have to change your mind. You have to sit back and observe yourself as an observer. Okay, an out-of-body experience if you can for yourself. Observe yourself. See yourself, like for example, now you are watching, you are learning, you are unlearning, you're expanding your mind. Now expand out of that and observe yourself watching me. So what is on your mind after watching that? What will you go? So if you're repeating the same cycle over and over, then you find that you can get stuck in a loop. Nisa. Another question. Wajiriwaka we totally agree. How does Matigari Magai, Mwagi Matigari Magai with you? How does one connect with nature when wanting to meditate? Very good question. Very nice. Very nice. Now, and you have asked, this is why I love when you're interacting in the comments because you are asking the right questions. Hata iko sasa sitaiongelea hapa. Let's go outside. Let's do it practically. Okay? Let's do it practical. Let's go outside. Now, for example, you can hear the birds. Okay? You can hear the birds. So, if we have different elements as people, for example, I'm an earthbender. What does that mean? Me being an earthbender means I am an earth element. I'm a Taurus, mid-heaven, the most fixated earth sign out there. So, for example, if I want to meditate, I am best when I'm meditating in nature. Okay? The wind is for people who are air signs. So if you are an air sign, you are best when you are meditating with air. For example, you can go somewhere where there's wind blowing, air. You can have the sound of wind in the trees. You can have the sound of a fan in the room, okay? Because that makes you an airbender. Now, let's say you are a fire sign. So the best way for someone who's a fire sign to meditate would be maybe by the fireplace, okay? Um, Maybe during the sun setting na vitu kaa hizo, or you can have what we can call a fire cracking sound, okay? Let's say you are a water sign. So for a water sign, the best way to meditate, for example, Mojiro is a Scorpio, so she's a fixated water sign. So the best way to meditate for her would be to go out by a waterfall or to meditate next to some water sounds. You get it? So, and then again, you have to understand when it comes to meditation, what is to meditate? Naonanga mtu akisema wacha to medi, and shout out to wacha to medi. I've seen his contents a few times before. Oh, this used to be a butterfly. It's no longer a butterfly. This used to be a butterfly. No longer a butterfly. I put on my eyewear so that I can look at the screen. It's doing a lot of algorithm with what you call iris detection. That is why they had you wearing masks. When they had you wearing masks a few years ago, it was not for your own good. It was so that the algorithms, their cameras, could become advanced in just reading your eyes. So you're going to get to a position whereby you cannot even riot. Hata ukiriot, hata ukijifunga mask, the AI, the computer, the AI can still identify you even with the mask on. It had nothing to do with your safety. Learn life. Ndio sasa ujue hizi vitu. So hii tutaimalizia hapa hii video. Let's finish this video here and then we can keep moving. So when it comes to meditation, meditation means nothing more but just emptying your mind, emptying your thoughts. So when you are doing meditation, what are you doing? You are trying to find what you call clairvoyance. What do I mean? So what is clairvoyance? Clairvoyance means clarity or no clutter in your mind. So when you are meditating, when you sit down, you're supposed to empty your mind. When you're meditating, you are trying to buy, okay? Even if it's just 1 second. Do you know how much? Do you know 1 second of nothingness? How much is worth 1 second of nothingness? AKA, for 1 second, just 1 second, pow, there's nothing else in your mind. Your spirit is just in its own state of mind. There's no influence from external. There's no noise. Hiyo ndio inaitangwa clairvoyance. So meditation is emptying your mind so that you are left with nothing but your thoughts and feelings, your emotional state, your vibe peke yako. No interaction, nothing from... Meditation is not thinking. Meditation is not music playing in the background. Meditation is not you imagine yourself laying in the grass, so your imagination about grass. This is not grass. This is grass, what you call grass. Because as a collective, we have named it grass. But this grass, what you are seeing growing in other realms of existences, does not even look like this. Okay? So meditation is emptying your mind, having no thought or feeling on your mind, which is what you call clairvoyance. So when you are meditating, you are trying to get, hata kama ni 1 second of nothingness. When you get to that 1 second or 2 minutes of nothingness, that is why it's so hard. You see monks spending 30 years. Watu wana meditate kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni, meditating like monks. Because once you can meditate like that, the ether respects you. The universe bows to you. Because what is that clairvoyance? Clairvoyance is an aura that you create around you that has nothing. It has nothing. That aura has nothing. Like this. What I mean by nothing means there's nothing there. There is no thought or no feeling there. Zero is a space. There's always space within spaces. We can call it a vacuum. But even in a vacuum, there's space. Because how can space be vacuum? Yet we have said a vacuum ni mahali hakuna kitu. You get it? So that clairvoyance You see now sasa swali yako imekuwa mzuri sana, imetupeleka kwa meditation. It means when now you encounter something that is hard, a situation or a circumstance that you have to overcome, that nothingness, that nothing, that thing that you have that has no title, has no name, which is nothing but a clairvoyance, looks like an aura around you, now you can give it a meaning. Let's say you have something you have to overcome. So you take that nothingness. Remember, what is God? God is no thing. God is no shape, no form. God, you can't give God like, you can say this tree is God. You can say, I can see God in all these possibilities. However, I can't say at hii tree ni God. Because you can't call everything God. You can't say hii mawe ni God. Because your existence does not depend on the stone. So that clairvoyance becomes your body armor. So whatever you are going through, now when you're trying to go through that situation, you take that clairvoyance that you have around you, which is nothing, no identity, nothing, because you bought or you got a space or a state of mind where there was no thought and feeling. And now that becomes, that nothing becomes your armor, like becomes whatever you want to go through. Now you can give it a meaning and reason. It's just esoteric currency to go through whatever you are going, if you can follow. Okay? If you can follow what I mean. So that is what we call clairvoyance, or you being in a state of mind where you have nothing on your. So that is meditation. Meditation is not, imagine yourself lying on the grass, imagine the waters are washing, let go, imagine your breath going to your legs and fingers, now imagine in your beach, picture birds. No, that's not meditation. So that's why I'm telling you, most of the people are Google scholars, because you're learning these things from their world, how they want you to see their world view. All these people you are following, spiritual people on YouTube, TikTok, anyone who has over 1 million followers kicking spirituality is an agent. Kuanzia akina Infinity Waters, go akina Deep Divers, going all the way to akina Saguru. All that is fake spirituality. You cannot have Saguru kicking spirituality, individuality, and is telling you to go and get this. That's how you tell them. You'll always catch them. Akina Infinity, let's deep dive. They may be kicking some spirituality, how they want you to view spirituality. And I said this and it has happened. Remember back in 2018 when tulisema spirituality is going to become a wave. Na nikasema wataanza hata shule za spirituality. They have started. I saw an advert saying, join spiritual academy. Washaribu sasa. So now spirituality will be like education, like